For years, the United States has carried the largest share of NATO military burden. American troops, weapons, logistics networks, and defense spending have formed the backbone of European security. But today, Washington is sending a clear message. Europe needs to do more for its own defense. Recent meetings between U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and European leaders have reinforced that message once again. The demand is simple. Europe should spend more, build stronger militaries, and become capable of handling more of its own conventional defense. But this is about much more than budgets. It is about America's global strategy. And increasingly, that strategy points toward the Indo-Pacific. At first glance, Washington's calls for higher European defense spending seem financial. They are not. The real issue is strategic attention. The United States faces growing challenges in multiple regions at the same time. Russia remains a major concern in Europe. China is becoming America's primary long-term competitor in Asia. At the same time, crises in the Middle East continue demanding military resources. No country, even the United States, has unlimited attention or unlimited military assets. Washington therefore wants allies to shoulder more responsibility where they can. U.S. officials are increasingly calling for European NATO members to spend more on defense. Discussions about spending levels, including ambitious targets such as 5% of GDP, are designed to create militaries that are not only larger on paper, but also combat-ready in practice. Washington wants European forces that can defend Europe with less direct American involvement. The goal is not to abandon NATO. The goal is to make NATO more self-sufficient. This is where the story becomes global. If Europe assumes more responsibility for its own security, the United States gains greater flexibility elsewhere. That flexibility can be redirected toward the Indo-Pacific. Across the region, Washington is strengthening partnerships with countries such as Japan, Australia, the Philippines, and South Korea. Military planning, stockpile positioning, and force deployments increasingly reflect concern about future challenges involving China. Simply put, every resource committed to Europe is a resource that cannot be used elsewhere. That is why many American strategists see stronger European defense as essential to a successful Indo-Pacific strategy. There is one major obstacle. Europe has made similar promises before. For years, many NATO members pledged to increase defense spending. In some cases, implementation lagged behind commitments. This is why Washington remains skeptical. Announcements are easy. Building military capabilities takes time, money, industrial capacity, and political will. The real test will not be what European governments promise. It will be what they actually deliver. If Europe successfully expands its military capabilities, Washington's rebalancing strategy becomes much easier. The United States can focus more attention on the Indo-Pacific without weakening NATO. But if Europe falls short, America faces a different reality. It remains heavily committed to Europe, while also confronting growing challenges in Asia. That creates pressure on military resources, budgets, and strategic planning. In short, the United States risks being stretched across two major theaters at the same time. Washington's push for greater European defense spending is not simply about money. It is about strategy. American leaders increasingly believe that Europe must take greater responsibility for its own security if the United States is to focus on the challenges emerging in the Indo-Pacific. The success of that strategy now depends on one thing: follow through. If Europe delivers stronger and more capable armed forces, the United States gains strategic flexibility. If it does not, Washington may find itself trying to manage two major security challenges with the same finite resources. And that could shape the future of both NATO and the Indo-Pacific for years to come.